going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these past, few months have been pretty dang good when it comes to the gaming community. We've gotten things like Palworld and Helldivers 2. People have been eating pretty good, but at the same time, these games are proving a lot of things wrong when it comes to our, current AAA products. And with some recent news that just went ahead and dropped, oh man, it's really putting games like Call of Duty to shame. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you are interested in any content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in any live streams, I do that daily as well, besides Sundays over on Kick. You guys can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video, and that usually goes live around 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I have some pretty big news for you guys, and I think this information right here is going to hopefully help the future of AAA products. Maybe it won't, but man, I can't imagine these, massive corporations looking at this and seeing these, smaller teams just absolutely putting in work, and then their games are just slowly, basically declining year after year after year. But as you can see right here, Helldivers 2 has passed 400k concurrent Steam players and has entered the top 24 of all time. It just hit 300k yesterday, and now it's at 400k. Even server issues aren't slowing this game down. And yes, for anybody who doesn't know, the servers are being completely overrun. It is just like absurd how difficult it is to go ahead and get into this game. But at the end of the day, it just proves a point that people are excited. They want to play this. They don't care, how long they have to wait. They know that the game is worth their time. Unlike other, products where it's a key, people just instantly hop out and just say, yeah, screw this, I'm not even going to bother. People know that when they get into this experience, it's going to be a fun time. But these numbers are just absolutely freaking insane. I mean, come on now. Call of Duty can barely even break, around 100k on average nowadays. It's really running into a rough, and keep in mind, that's across the whole board. That's multiplayer and Warzone, the free-to-play aspect. That's everything combined. And they can barely go ahead and even hit that type of player count, It's been down bad, and I'm telling you, it's because the game is releasing so freaking frequently. I know I've been talking about this a lot, but it's true. There's not enough time to put out a passionate Call of Duty product anymore, and people don't treat them like they're their own unique games anymore. People treat them like a subscription service. They buy it, they hop on for a month, and they throw it in the trash. It's just as simple as that nowadays. Call of Duty can't get this type of hype because the top dogs, the publishers, don't allow the developers to have the time and freedom to go ahead and really go all out. Could you imagine a Call of Duty game if they actually had time in between projects? 2 to 3 years between games where we can settle down and they can actually come up with new cool concepts and it could surprise us and make us interested. Maybe Call of Duty could hit these player counts. But as long as it's doing what it's doing, it's going to be rough. But moving on from just this post, it's a lot more over on Twitter as well, man. Tom said, Helldivers 2 has passed GTA 5's all-time concurrent peak on Steam this weekend, despite some server issues. That's insane, guys. GTA's 5, come on now, man. I know, and let's be honest here, that's not for, GTA 5 when it comes to console. This is just Steam, but still, that's huge. That's literally huge. These games that have just recently dropped, Palworld and Helldivers, are just absolutely setting trends, making waves. And they're two non-AAA developed games. Like I said, the gaming community has been eating recently. They have really been eating because game after game after game has been dropping that have been just phenomenal, proving that, these AAA devs, there has to be something more than just the money that they're given to go ahead and produce these games. You can't just, this is for the top dogs, the publishers. You can't just, provide enough technology to make the games look flashy and outstanding because that's not going to cut it anymore. Technology has evolved that basically anybody can get their hands on something and make it look clean enough to be playable. It's not going to look like absolute garbage, you know what I'm saying? So over half the people out there can make something that looks at least half decent. Nowadays, you really have to go ahead and focus on the game itself. You have to. And Helldivers and Palworld are just perfect examples of that. And also, their price points. Look at this. Palworld, $29.99. Helldivers, $39.99. Suicide Squad, $69.99. Skull and Bones, $69.99. And guess what else, guys? Call of Duty, basically $100 if you want to get the premium edition. That's insane. These games provide so much more fun, so much more entertainment, and so much more replayability and creativity. And they are half the price of these other games. And then you have games like Call of Duty that have the nerve to go ahead and put in $35 freaking bundles, and they're already full-priced $70 game, while you can go into Helldivers 2 and basically get the whole catalog of content without even putting in a penny, basically. You barely have to cough up any extra money besides the initial entry fee of $39.99. But what I'm hoping for from these titles is that they will basically open up the gaming community's eyes, because we are the reason that we are in this situation. It's not because of the corporations, even though they are the ones that are setting the price, but they're setting the price because we are willing to buy it, right? I'm hoping that these games releasing can really help people understand that, these companies are absolutely trying to scheme every last penny out of your pocket. And there's nothing else to be said about it. If these games can release with 10 times the amount of content, 10 times the amount of free content, amazing live service methods, where we always imagine live service is impossible. I mean, Helldivers 2 actually has a pretty decent, live service method. Power World is a really fun game to go ahead and play. Tons of content, tons of things to go ahead and do. Hours and hours and hours and hours of just exciting, fun gameplay. I'm hoping that people can see that you don't have to cough up $70 to $100 for a good quality game, And I'm also hoping on the other side, these corporations, they can see that maybe giving their development teams a little bit more time can really create masterpieces. Stop rushing these people to hit deadlines so you can go ahead and please shareholders. Forget about that nonsense for a second here, because your shareholders will be happy if you can at least release a banger. I mean, look at like the GTA franchise, for example. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes ages to get another game, but I guarantee the next game is going to make them a freaking fortune, and guess who's going to be happy, right? You guys already know how it goes down. So I hope that they can see that maybe with a little bit more time, their development teams can really put out true bangers, because I like what Sledgehammer did here with Modern Warfare 3. But as you guys can see, the game just dies. It is probably the lowest point I've ever seen Call of Duty with any type of socials, anything. Twitter, the Reddit board has nobody up on it. YouTube views are down dramatically across the board. Streams and all that stuff. People just don't really care about COD like they used to, and I don't blame them, because like I said, there's not enough time in between to make sure these games are, different enough in their own unique ways. But I gotta say, congratulations to the developers of Helldivers 2 and also Power World. Seriously, you guys are doing phenomenal things right now when it comes to the gaming space. You guys are proving, once again, you don't have to go ahead and only play AAA developed games. I've always been a fan of, AA, indie developed, all different types of stuff. But I feel like the console world has always been so left out of it, It's one of the reasons why I wanted a PC, a little while back, is because it was just so many crazy different games that you can actually experience. I mean, even when Battle Royale first started out, mostly you had to play on a PC. H1Z1 was on a PC. PUBG, PC, and obviously eventually everything started coming over to console. But at the end of the day, everything was on PC. But now you're having all these awesome titles releasing on console. The true potential is finally showing. There's finally light at the end of the tunnel that, people can have hope for. And this is just the beginning. Even if AAA games don't want to step up their stuff and, these publishers and big companies don't want to change their ways, that doesn't mean that we're ending here with Helldivers 2 and Power World, Who knows what is coming within the upcoming years? But ladies and gentlemen, do me a massive favor. Go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below about how you feel about Power World and, Helldivers 2. Do you guys enjoy these games? Do you think that they're worth it? And do you think these numbers are representing, the game being good? Or is it just all fake hype? Because let's be real here. We do live in a day, of age where everything is showcased by streamers and, getting crazy views. And honestly, let's be real. A lot of these companies probably do pay streamers to play the game to pop them off. So, at the end of the day, do you guys think that this game is worth the hype? Or do you think it's just being pushed out there by, a bunch of content creators? But as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. And last but not least, we do stream daily, besides Sundays, of course, over on Kick. If you guys are interested, I have a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.